That is one big house.
I guess it would have been in the late 40s that I first remember coming out from Lethbridge, Alberta, where we lived, to visit our cousins and my aunt and uncle who lived in this house. And it was an amazing trip for a young kid from the prairies there to be in the CPR dining car with all the waiters hovering over with their towels over their arms, and all the shiny silver with 4 or 5 different forks for every service, wondering how to use them, and quite a lot of fun. And then sleeping overnight, coming through the Rockies, arriving in Vancouver, coming up to 2050 here where the relatives lived, and seeing the beautiful city all spread out down there, and the harbor full of ships and stuff that a prairie kid doesn't really see that often. And so here I am many years later.
Well, let's try knocking on the door here. 2050 East 4th Avenue.
Yeah.
This guy is looks like he might be interesting. So there's the view. It's completely. It's almost. You had a better view in 1946.
Yeah, I do remember. Not quite so overgrown.
So
There was, like I was mentioning, there was no sidewalks. There was a road of macadam or asphalt, 1 lane wide, crowned over with ditches full of brush on each side where the drainage went, little bridges across there, and maybe a cinder path, and I remember a vacant lot next door where we played a lot in the brambles. And so
that house looks pretty old.
that house looks old, but I don't know. I remember a fairly large vacant lot.
Well, give it a shot here.
Give it a shot here. Right? See what they say now. Hello there.
Hello.
I used to visit this house when I was a small child, about 65 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well,
So I thought I'd knock on your door.
would you like to see what it looks like now?
I sure would. My name's Robert.
Rolf,
Rolf. I'll get it.
nice to meet you.
Can you remember what the house is like?
I remember, certainly I remember the upstairs view there, and the big yard, the big steps, big porch. Like to us kids, this was a big house,
Yeah.
and a big porch, and everything was big. And it's a magnificent house, I have to say. Yeah, I came out to go to university in 1958. 57, 58 was my first year there. And I never really moved anywhere. I never moved permanently anywhere else after that.
But you lived in Grandview back in your student days, you were saying.
In my student days, I lived in the back. Stayed with my aunt first in Surrey, and she owned the Joe's and Flo's Cafe on Nanaimo Street, which is now Bonds on Broadway. You know, Bonds off Broadway. That was the family cafe for the family that lived here.
I see.
And it was a 24-hour restaurant that started out as a little greasy spoon with 11 stools and 1 booth.
Wow.
And my job helping my cousin Ronnie do the fast order cooking, I was to wash the dishes and stuff like that, and keep the drug users out of the bathroom, and the usual stuff.
Already in those days.
Back in those days. And then my aunt rebuilt it as a... Joe died, and Flo rebuilt the restaurant as a bigger building. And kept the 24-hour tradition, which, as far as I know, still goes on there.
It's pretty unusual back then, was it? 24-hour restaurant?
It was quite unusual.
Yeah.
There was Scott's Cafe downtown, and there was this one here, and oh, there's another couple downtown, the Peter Pan Cafe,
Right on Granville. Yeah.
and maybe one in the West End. But yeah, very few.
Hmm.
Joe's and Flo's.
So you got to work any time of the day or night, did you?
Well, the thing was when they built the new building, and I was out here at university. Then I lived in a trailer behind the restaurant. And,
Cheap rent.
And then, well, basically, I could stay at Surrey at my aunt's big house or at the trailer, and then if they needed a dishwasher in the middle of the night, I had to get up and wash the dishes and then get them caught up and then go back to bed, and then I'd get up and take the bus to UBC for the daytime. It was all right. It kept me going to school, and it got kind of interesting at times.
So it was later on you lived in the rest home.
The rest home, yeah, I did live in a rest home, former rest home on Kitchener Street, just a block. I guess it'd be west of Commercial.
So it had a view like this, did it?
It did. It had a view like this. Yeah, I had a bedroom on the upper floor that had a gallery full of Reader's Digests, where the seniors used to sit and read their digests, and we rented that house, a bunch of guys, and a lot of weird stuff went on. Anyway, yeah, and then they tore it down to build a proper
But
apartment.
that was sort of a communal house, was it?
Yeah, it was,
60s?
yeah, it was communal. Yeah, it was.
That
a
was
little
kind of
bit too
unusual back
communal
then.
At times.
Yeah, another unusual thing, really.
Yeah, a little bit too communal. Like sometimes you never knew who was going to be there the next, the night or the day.
Well, let's take a look.
Should we take a look?
Mark, you want to have a look
Oh, yeah, let's have
from upstairs?
Sure.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Just like the old days.
Yeah.
It's a museum.
Has it changed?
Since when?
Oh, it certainly,
Or since his time?
it certainly has a lot of stuff in it.
Even your magazines you were reading.
Reader's Digest. Oh, National Geographic. There they are, National Geographic. Yeah.
Look at that.
Actually, that was Reader's Digest.
Look at this.
If you keep on filming like this, you're going to run out of film.
I think I got an hour, hopefully.
Mind-boggling.
Yes, yes.
Well, you got some stuff at your place, don't you? Stored?
Yeah, but
I don't think you have one of these pieces here.
no, I don't.
One of those?
That's a wonder.
It was carved by a lumber guy in Squamish. And he apparently encountered one of these guys.
Oh, really?
Ah, you had a visit.
A gray.
A gray, yeah. A visit from the Greys.
Oh, you got a nice raven here.
Yeah.
Wow. Got a payphone.
You could, yes.
And a cigar store Indian.
And there's the guys from India. That's
But
right.
really, he's a camera collector. You wouldn't know it.
No, that's right.
You
That's
didn't
right.
know it.
Yeah. And I collect musical instruments. And,
Really?
They're in here somewhere, I guess, eh? Haven't
that's,
seen.
That's a music room in there, but
Oh,
you
this is-
can't see from all the junk.
Oh, there's a nice drum.
You have any Martin guitars for sale?
No. You know, collect will never sell anything anyway.
That's
even
right.
if I had
Yeah,
one.
how
Can't-
could you collect anything if you sold it?
Can't bear to part with it.
No.
Great. Well, let's go up. Head
Go
upstairs.
There we go.
I like your barbed wire collection here.
I always said I collect everything except buttons and barbed wire.
Really? Uh-oh.
And then
And
now
one
you've-
time
now you've started.
I saw that somebody made and collected. Then I looked into it.
All that's left is
Actually-
buttons.
It's actually very interesting. When you get into the manufacture of barbed wire.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about the machine.
Yeah.
The invention is the machine, not the idea.